Hi there! Welcome back to Hunt Hill at Home. Happy Earth Week. I hope you had an awesome Earth Day yesterday. Today's topic is who dirtied the water. So we're going to actually be doing an activity that we do in our youth environmental stewardship program, which is sponsored by WCLARA, which is the Washburn County Lakes and Rivers Association, and by the Long Lake Preservation Association. Now, this is an awesome program for anyone to do to see how we can influence our water quality and think about our own actions that are making a difference in our own lakes and rivers. Now, water is a super important thing for us, especially in the Midwest, but everywhere. It's something that really impacts our lives and makes a difference for us. Which brings me to our joke of the day. So, all of us know that H2O is the chemical name for water, right? Now, what is H2O for? Well, it's for drinking and swimming and watering your plants. I feel like I should have some sort of person going after my jokes, just to remind you that they're jokes. So, we'll get started. I have a story that goes along with it, so I'm going to be looking down at my story every once in a while as we go through this activity. So, we're going to start with our container. Represent our lake. And right now it's this beautiful, pristine glacial lake, kind of like the many that we have in our area and the many that we have at Hunt Hill. So, once upon a time, there was a beautiful, pristine glacial lake that had lots of wildlife. Animals came to drink out of it, fish swam in it, lots of different lived in it, and you could always see through it and really see all the wonderful things in the water. Now, sometimes there would be a hard rain, and that heavy rain would wash some things like dirt and rocks into the water. And it wouldn't be quite as clear all the time, but it would clear up over time after the rain settled down. And the same thing, sometimes in the fall, the leaves would fall and they would blow into the lake. And they would cover the top a little bit. But it wasn't a big deal. It was part of the natural process of the lake. And eventually the leaves would clear off and the lake would be clear again. Now, one day, Farmer Franny was walking around and she discovered this lake. And she said, "Wow, what a beautiful place. I want to live here and I want to farm here." And so she decided that she would move in there and start her farm. Now, she loved the lake and she would never want to do anything to harm it. But she found that there were lots of insects eating her plants. So she on her plants, and some of that washed into the water. But it wouldn't hurt, right? While Farmer Franny was getting started with her farm, she told her friend, Frank the fisherman, about a wonderful place here on the lake. And he thought, that sounds like a great place to fish. I really want to go and check it out. So he went and checked it out, and the fishing was great. It was perfect. And so Fisherman Frank decided that he was going to stay there as well. And while he was there, he would spend a lot of his time making sure his boat looked like a proud fisherman, and he wanted everything to look good. So when he was at the lake, he would wash off his boat sometimes, and sometimes a little bit of the detergent would wash into the lake. But it was just a little bit. Well, then Frank decided to invite his friend Cattle Cal to come hang out with them. Cal had a ranch full of many, and he needed a nice place to raise them. He saw the wonderful water that he could feed to the give to the cattle to drink, and he found lots of beautiful space for them to roam and graze. Now, over the time that the cattle were there, they would go to the edge of the water to drink if they were thirsty, and they beat down a path where they would often walk along and cause a little bit of a path there. Now, when the spring rains came, even more dirt ended up settling into the water, along with some manure from the cattle. So Cal thought that he had such a great setup that he should invite his friend Harry, the homeowner. Now, Harry quickly moved in next door, and he loved it. He had farmers next door, lots of people to hang out with. He needed to build a new septic tank for his home. But while he was waiting, he still needed to use all the dishwasher and everything in his home, so he just threw all his wastewater back into the lake. Heard anything, right? Well, then Harry invited his friend, who loves to take care of his lawn. He's very proud of his lawn. Lawn lover had this beautiful yard. It was always green and gorgeous right alongside the lake. And to keep his lawn beautiful and green and gorgeous, he would sometimes add a little bit of fertilizer. Just a little, just enough to get the plants going. But it was just a little. It wouldn't hurt, right? Well, since all those people were having so much fun living along the lake, the electric company heard, and they wanted to start providing enough electricity for all of the homes in this new community. So they set up a new power line, and smoke was pushed into the sky as they were producing the power and other things. And soon the rain that was falling wasn't just rain, it was slightly acidic rain. As I mentioned before, the lake was close to a lot of hills and people loved to ski on it. But it was also very slippery in the winter time when things started to freeze over. The roads got bad. And so Salty Sam came around and said, I have a solution for you. Let's put some sand on these roads to make sure that there's good traction and they're safe for you to drive on. So Salty Sam came around and added a little sand, but the sand also washed into the lake a little bit. So now that the roads were safe to ride on, Henry Hot Rod moved in, and woo-wee, talk about a wild drive. He loved driving around, and he loved to take care of his car. Now, he would often change his oil and make sure that his car was in spick-span shape. Now, he didn't want to use time to take all the oil to a recycling center, so he just let it drain out onto his driveway. It was just a little oil. That's not too bad, right? And that oil went down into the lake as well. Now, then Karen, cabin owner, decided she had to come and build a little cabin next to him. And she loved sunbathing and going out with her friends. And she also had to do a lot of laundry because all of her friends were coming to visit her. Now, she would just throw her laundry down into the lake as well. And finally, Karen's brother, Bobby Beachgoer, decided to come and visit, and he loved sunbathing and being out in the lake. So he brought all his friends and they hung out along the lake, but afterwards they left quite a mess. Lots of different pieces of litter hanging around because they didn't realize that they had to pick up after themselves. So, hey, what happened to our beautiful lake? It used to be wonderful. Green and smells kind of funky and is covered with all sorts of oil and litter and different debris. So, this brings me back to the very beginning. What is H2O for? What is our water for? For us to all enjoy, to be able to drink from, to feed our animals, to take care of our plants. We all need water, but we need water to be clean. All of these people who used the water and were around the lake loved the lake, and still they made the lake dirty. So think about some choices you make. Where is the water that you use going, and is it the best water for the next people coming along? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be doing a reusing craft where we will make some flowers out of old egg cartons. And I have set up some kits in case some of you don't have all the materials. And those kits are on the screen porch of the farmhouse. Let me show you where they are. So, if you look right there, that's our farmhouse, and that is unlocked at all times, and you can come and pick up your own kit for your family to make egg carton flowers. So thanks for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.